everybody, it is Shannon from the Odious Soul. Welcome back. This video is going to be all about when did Forrest Fenn hide his treasure somewhere north of Santa Fe in the Rocky Mountains. Alright people, welcome back, and yes, some people have been driving me crazy asking me why am I so sure that I know when Forrest Fenn hid his treasure, you know, and I have lots of reasons, but let me give you some of the top level stuff. Some of the stuff you can find easily on Terry Scant and on some of the forums and online and in the books and other stuff, okay? So the first thing you need to remember is Forrest Fenn was born August 22nd of 1930, okay? So he turned, this is what, 2019? He just turned what, like 88 years old back in August? All right, so he has said over and over and over and over again that he hid the treasure when he was 79 or 80 years old. He has never put it down to a year. That's all he said. He said 79 or 80. So when you go to forums and you go to like the chats and you go to the Facebook groups, you'll hear people who assume that that means 2009 to 2010 because he said 79 or 80. Well, we can narrow it down a lot closer than that. Now, before I go any farther, I know a lot of people out there in YouTube land in this Forrest Fenn treasure hunt world are going to argue that Forrest Fenn has said that he hid the treasure 15 years after he got cancer. Now, he got cancer, he found out he had cancer in 1988. This is also the same year when he had surgery and had his kidney taken out and the cancer taken out, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So 15 years after that is only like 2003. Now, he obviously wasn't 79 or 80 in 2003 unless he's been lying about how old he is all this time, which I doubt that's the case. So the question is, why would you think that he hid it in 2003 just based on this 15 years after I had cancer, statement? In my mind, I feel that Fenn was didn't just get cancer and then get rid of it all within a year. I think it was a longer battle that he does not discuss. I feel like it was probably a few years, and for some reason, like in my head, I feel like there was something out there somewhere that actually said 5 years that it took him before he was in remission, like full remission, and I could not find that quote, so don't quote me. It might have been a timeline on one of the Facebook groups that somebody had, but I know I saw it somewhere. So in my head, I've always kind of associated that it was after Fenn had cancer. Not after he originally received the news that he got cancer, but after he had cancer. And if anybody who's had cancer knows that cancer is not an overnight battle. You don't just get it, have surgery, and you're done. There's usually treatments and things that go along with that. So in my head, I definitely think later. But if you really truly believe that Forrest Fenn has hid a treasure chest somewhere north of Santa Fe in the Rocky Mountains, then you have to also believe that he was telling the truth when he said he hid the treasure when he was 79 or 80 years old. This is something that he said repeatedly over and over and over again. Reporters and many different things have said, so you hid the treasure in 2010. Forrest has said, and I feel like maybe I should look so I don't screw up this quote. I was 79 or 80. I have a reason for not wanting to give an exact date. All right. So he has said that. He has said that, I think that was in Scrapbook 163 on Dal Neitzel's site. He has said and told people who were fact checking, he has never said a year. He has never said 2009 to 2010. He's never said 2003. He's never said a year. He said he hid it when he was 79 or 80 years old. If you believe there's a treasure chest out there in the nature, you're going to have to also then believe that he hid it when he was 79 or 80. So if we take that as a fact and we take it with other stuff, let's show you where that leads to. All right, so also in Dale Neitzel's site, you have the Forrest Gets Mail from that nice little school class. And they had asked him, what time of year did you hide your treasure? And Forrest has said, yes, it was summer. He hid it in summer. Now, we all know how Forrest is on exactness. So summer for most people is going to be like June, July, August, September, okay? So forget the solstice and the equinoxes and all that stuff. Let's just say June, July, August, September. Okay, that kind of covers a full range. He talks about summers in Yellowstone, which is probably like June, July, August because of school starting at sometime in September. You know, so anyway, so we'll just say, for argument's sake, June, July, August, and September is summer for this presentation, okay? So Forrest turned 79 August 22nd of 2009. All right, so if he was 79 or 80, our start date is August 22nd of 2009. That's the earliest that he could have hid the treasure. All right, so if it's summertime and we take it all the way through September, that's only like a 5-week stretch there in 2009 that he could have hid the treasure because he hid it in summertime and when he was 79 or 80. So there's a 5-week window in 2009 where potentially he could have hid it. He also likes to preach to us how not to go searching for it in winter and to be safe and safety first and all that fun stuff. So we know that he could not have hid it again until June 1st of 2010. And you can go all the way through that summer, and then you can actually even go through 2011 because he was still 80 until August 22nd of 2011. But here's the thing, okay? Once Upon a While came out with a foreword from Doug Preston. And Doug Preston says that in August of 2010, apparently sometime before his Forrest Fenn's 80th birthday, Forrest was like, I did it, I hid the chest. So that gives us a window between August 22nd of 2009 and August 21st of 2010. That's our window, because if he hadn't turned 80 yet and he told Doug Preston that he did hide the chest, we have to take all that into account, right? We have to take that at face value for what it is, what it's saying. So, in my opinion, though, I believe that Forrest did hide it in August of 2010. Why? I believe he did it right before his birthday. I believe he did it right before he turned 80. Now, I also know for a fact that Forrest was up north in the Yellowstone, Cody, Wyoming area that summer. If we know he was up north still at that time, that's awesome. Because we always know that he's always in New Mexico, so at any time he could go to New Mexico, but at some point he stopped going up north. And that's the thing, we need to figure out when he stopped going up north, okay? So we know, I know, that he was at least up north in 2010, at least, at the latest. Can't confirm after that. I cannot find evidence after that. Still looking very hard, and when I find it, I will let you guys know. So, what does this mean? Well, it means not a lot, honestly, unless you're willing to track down things. Forrest had said something about, you know, he doesn't want to give down an exact date of when he hid the chest because he doesn't want people looking up rental car records, seeing how many miles he went. Does that mean that he actually had a rental car? Maybe. Possibly. Why would he say that if he didn't have a rental car? Okay, so it's a possibility. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he actually drove all the way to wherever he was from New Mexico. Maybe he flew in a plane, and a friend's plane, his plane. Who knows? Maybe he did get a rental car. Maybe he did. That was a sedan that he took. Who knows? None of us know for sure. But if we can narrow down a date, then that kind of information becomes more accessible. That kind of information then we can take and try to do more with, and try to break it down and try to figure out more stuff. Because if we can figure out dates and then we can find proof of where he was at that time, then guess what? It narrows down our search area. So, in my opinion, I'm definitely going for August. However, I cannot prove that he hid it in August. I can only prove with my information that he definitely hid it before August 22nd of 2010 and after August 22nd of 2009. However, I wholeheartedly believe that he did hide it in the summer of 2010, just because that was the summer where he was both 79 and 80. Also, very important, There were several uncorrected dates in several interviews, both written and videos and things. Like, it's just, for example, The Great Big Story, which can be found on YouTube, seeking the hidden treasure of the Rocky Mountains. In that one, they actually say Forrest hid it in 2010. Julius Brighton's on Vimeo, you can look on May 20th of 2015. That video also states Fenn hid it in 2010. ABC's Nightline from January of 2018. Fenn hid the treasure in 2010. They all say 2010, and Forrest never corrects the date. Ever. I cannot find one single thing where he says, I did not hide it in 2010. The only thing I can find is when he says, I did not say that I hid it in 2010. I said I hid it when I was 79 or 80. He's not telling them that they're wrong. He's just saying that he's never done it. He's not saying, no, I did not hide it in 2010. He's saying, no, I did not say that. I said I hid it when I was 79 or 80. If so many people keep saying the same thing, maybe he has said it and he just doesn't like to confirm that he said it because maybe he's just, my mom's like 20 years younger than him and she's a mess. But, I mean, like, so mentally, maybe he has said that, and he just doesn't want to actually confirm that he said it. All right, so some other things to consider. Don't forget, in June 12th of 2009, federal agents raided Fenn's house, okay? So, I would personally think that he probably wanted to hide it more after that. But pretty much after he was cleared, I don't think he wanted to hide it that summer because it looks a little sketchy. If you just get raided by the FBI and you hide a chest in somewhere in the Rocky Mountains at the same exact year, I think that is a little too shady. His book got released in fall of 2010. So to me, in my mind, it just makes more sense that he would have also hid the chest right before he published the book. And also enough time after the raid to be cleared of all that drama. So that way he was safe and there wasn't no question as to what exactly he hid. What did he put out there? I think he needed his name to be cleared before he could even do it. I think his end game was to do it before his 80th birthday because of his good friend, So, because Eric Sloan died like right at age 80. So I think Forrest really felt that clock ticking and like he had to do it. And if he was going to do it, that was the time. And then after the whole FBI raids and everything, it really forced him to want to do this because it was his legacy. It was what was he going to end up with? When you have FBI raids and your good name being thrown in the mud, okay? And you're coming up onto your 80th birthday when one of your best friends died at the age of 80, okay? On some freak street corner or hotel or whatever the actual report says in New York City, and you're coming up to that 80th birthday and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Now's the time to act. So I think it was that game about his legacy, his future, his name, how is he going to be remembered? So again, you have the raid, enough time to have his name cleared. Then you have him putting the book together. You have him actually going out and hiding the treasure chest. You have him writing down and finishing the poem so that way it matches exactly where he put it. And he gets to double check it because I know he says he's worked on the poem for forever. But then he's also said that he did not write the poem until after he hid the chest. He didn't write this version of the poem. He did not publicize this version of the poem. It's one of those things where like you can write something, but until it gets published, it doesn't actually count, so, or doing a video. Like I can do so many copies of this, but I don't actually record it or publish it on YouTube until a certain time. Maybe he's just playing with all that when he says that. At least that's what I think. I think he's worked on the poem for a very long time, but it wasn't finished. It wasn't completed. It wasn't officially written until after he hid that chest in the summer of 2010, before August 22nd of 2010. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts. Also, I really want to know what other videos you want to see me do, so please tell me what you want. Give it to me. Give me your thoughts, your opinions, your needs, your wants, your desires. Give it to me, and I will try to make it happen. All right, guys, take care, have a good one, and thanks again for watching.